What if I told you that Josh Duggar, yes, that Josh Duggar, just got busted again, even while locked up behind bars? Shocking new claims are surfacing that Josh hasn't exactly been a model inmate. From sneaky behavior in prison to suspiciously cozy privileges, sources say he's been bending the rules and getting caught. But that's not even the craziest part. Behind the scenes, Bob Duggar appears to be pulling strings again. Duggar insiders say he's offering Anna something massive to keep her loyal, quiet, and firmly under control, a luxury mansion. That's right. While the rest of the family quietly distances themselves from Josh's scandals, Bob is allegedly bribing Anna with real estate to make sure she stays in line, stays married, and, most importantly, stays silent. Fans are outraged, critics are speaking out, and even longtime Duggar supporters are saying enough is enough. In this video, we're breaking down Josh Duggar's latest busted moment, Bob's desperate play to protect the family name, and why Anna's blind loyalty might be unraveling fast. We'll take a closer look at Josh's current prison life, the new mansion Anna's reportedly been gifted, and how Bob might be manipulating everything from behind his polished patriarchal facade. Let's dig in. 1. Contraband, rule-breaking, or manipulation. In February 2023, Duggar was discovered with a contraband cell phone, resulting in 2 months in the Special Housing Unit, SHU, and a roughly 2-month delay in his scheduled release date. In spring 2024, reports surfaced that 6 inmates in his unit were found with contraband, mainly alcohol, and the warden warned the entire unit would face mass punishments. These would likely include losing phone/email privileges and recreation time, even if Duggar himself wasn't implicated. More recently, new disciplinary setbacks prompted another extension of Duggar's release date from October 2032 to December 23, 2032, and he was reportedly kicked out of a renovated, honors, dorm into a standard unit, possibly due to rule infractions. Verdict: the cell phone incident is confirmed. Other contraband-related rumors remain unverified, though prison insiders and media continuity suggest the possibility that Duggar's behavior, direct or indirect, played a role. There's no confirmed recent evidence of new contraband in his possession. 2. Disruption and disciplinary response in prison. His early SHU stint for the cell phone break reduced his privileges and prolonged his sentence. Inmates in his building reportedly lost recreation time, had mail and classes suspended, and in some cases, dorms went on hunger strike in protest. Some sources said the entire facility was temporarily locked down as a punishment for suspected contraband smuggling via drones. Meanwhile, Duggar was removed from the honors dorm, stripping him of upscale benefits such as in-room microwaves, washers/dryers, and a degree-friendly arrangement. 3. Reactions from fellow inmates. According to multiple reports, inmates in Duggar's dorm and surrounding units pushed back, expressing frustration over heavily reduced recreation and harsh conditions. The hunger strike involved 2 dorms refusing meals until privileges were restored. FCI Seagoville officials deny an official lockdown, stating the changes stem from utilities upgrades. However, family members and inmates described the measures as punitive and reminiscent of a higher security facility than the low-security status Seagoville actually holds. 4. Anna Duggar's emotional experience. Anna continues to support her husband and maintain their family, visiting him in prison while caring for their 7 young children. She has experienced repeated public scrutiny and likely significant emotional strain. Her legal team's requests for Duggar to receive court-appointed counsel were denied, potentially adding stress about the family's financial and emotional toll. Though personal statements are few, she is known to remain publicly quiet, balancing raising the kids with navigating a high-profile legal situation involving her husband. Now, let's dive into what's being called one of the most suspicious moves Bob Duggar has made in recent years, the so-called mansion bribe. And yes, we're talking about Anna Duggar, who has remained staunchly loyal to her husband Josh, even as the rest of the world turned its back. The timeline here is key, and the sudden shift in Anna's visibility raises a lot of red flags. For months following Josh Duggar's conviction, Anna kept an incredibly low profile. She was barely seen, and insiders suggested she was struggling emotionally and financially. But then, things changed. Around early 2024, eagle-eyed fans began noticing that Anna was making more frequent visits to the Duggar compound. Not just for special holidays, but regularly, almost as if she had returned to being a permanent fixture in the Duggar fold. That's when whispers began swirling that Jim Bob had offered her something big, something that would keep her from walking away or speaking out. And that something appears to be a house. A very nice house. According to real estate sleuths online and a few local reports out of Town, there's strong speculation that Jim Bob transferred property, or at the very least, gave full-time access to Anna and her children in a secluded but luxurious piece of land he owns not far from the main Duggar home. We're talking over 3,500 square feet, 6 bedrooms, plenty of privacy, and all signs pointing to it being a gift. But it wasn't wrapped in a bow, it was wrapped in conditions. Some see it as nothing more than hush money, a bribe cleverly disguised as support. With Josh facing nearly 2 decades behind bars, Anna could have gone public with her own tell-all, taken the kids and run, or at least started speaking out about what life with Josh and the Duggar clan was really like. Instead, she's staying quiet. Suspiciously quiet. And now she's suddenly living better than ever. And this move becomes even more suspicious when compared to how Jim Bob has treated his other adult children, especially the ones who haven't stayed loyal to his ultra-strict worldview. Remember Jill Duggar? She and Derek Dillard got iced out for speaking their truth. No mansion for them. They had to fight just to get money that was owed to them from years of filming counting on. Jinger and Jeremy? Exiled. Jana? Micromanaged. Joanna? Left to fend for herself emotionally, even amid harsh online criticism. But Anna, the woman married to the most disgraced member of the family, she's the one who ends up with a luxury home and increased access to the family compound? If that doesn't scream reward for silence, what does? And let's be real, it wouldn't be the first time Jim Bob used material goods as a form of manipulation. He's known for leveraging his control over the family's finances and real estate to keep people in line. The difference is, this time, the stakes are much higher. Josh isn't just a wayward son, he's a convicted felon serving time for unthinkable crimes. And yet Jim Bob is still doing everything he can to make sure Anna stays by his side and under his control. So, is the mansion a gift of kindness? Or a calculated payoff? Fans, critics, and even some family insiders believe it's the latter, and the optics aren't doing Jim Bob any favors. Now let's talk about something that has everyone asking the same haunting question. Is Anna Duggar trapped in this life, or is she choosing it? For years, Anna has stood by Josh Duggar through some of the most disturbing and disgraceful scandals in modern reality TV history. From the moment the first allegations hit back in 2015, Anna never wavered publicly. But here's the thing. That doesn't mean she wasn't struggling privately. Fans have been watching Anna closely, looking for clues in her body language, her facial expressions during public appearances, and even her choice of words in the rare messages she posts or releases through Duggar-aligned channels. And many are convinced she's stuck in a toxic loyalty trap. Take her church appearances, for example. Anna continues to attend events hosted by the same religious circle that has long upheld traditional gender roles and has strongly encouraged wives to remain submissive, even in the face of betrayal or abuse. Her appearances have been subdued, often avoiding eye contact with cameras, standing stiffly beside Jim Bob or other family members. In photos, her eyes rarely light up. Instead, she appears somber, perhaps even emotionally withdrawn. Some viewers argue that this is classic denial, a woman raised in an extreme belief system who simply can't process the full gravity of what's happened. Others argue it's more complicated, that Anna is deeply dependent on the Duggar ecosystem, emotionally, financially, and spiritually. With 7 children and no meaningful income or job experience outside the home, what real options does she have? But that doesn't mean she doesn't have any support. One of the most fascinating tensions within the Duggar world right now lies in the dividing lines forming between family members. On one side, you have the loyalists, Jim Bob, Michelle, and reportedly a few of the married Duggar siblings who believe Anna is doing the right thing by sticking with Josh and raising the kids as though nothing has changed. On the other side, a much quieter, but more outspoken camp: Jill Duggar Dillard, Jinger Vuolo, and Amy Duggar King. These women have already pulled back the curtain on their family's secrets. Jill, in her memoir and interviews, has spoken openly about the damage done to her and Derek by the IBLP culture and by Jim Bob's control. She's never directly slammed Anna, but her silence on defending Josh speaks volumes. Jinger, who now lives across the country in California, has also distanced herself from the family's teachings. Her book, Becoming Free Indeed, takes aim at the harmful control tactics used in their religious upbringing, without naming names, but clearly referencing people like Jim Bob and the system that continues to shape Anna's world. Then there's Amy Duggar King, the so-called rebel cousin. She's the most vocal of them all. Amy has posted numerous cryptic messages and not-so-subtle jabs at Josh and anyone defending him. She's pleaded, publicly, for Anna to wake up, leave, and put her kids first. At one point, Amy even offered to help Anna financially if she ever chose to walk away from the Duggar family compound. Despite this, Anna remains visibly loyal. She visits Josh in prison consistently, brings the kids when allowed, and hasn't shown any outward signs of rebellion. Which leaves us with this brutal reality: is Anna brainwashed, terrified, or simply still in love with the man who destroyed their family's image? Some fans speculate that Anna's decision to remain loyal is partly fueled by shame and fear of what life outside the Duggar umbrella would look like. Others think she might still be holding on to the hope that Josh will one day be released, reformed, and reintegrated into their life. Either way, it's a heartbreaking portrait of a woman caught in a web far more complicated than outsiders might realize. And maybe that's the scariest part, because if Anna isn't willing to see the truth, how can anyone help her? As the mansion bribe rumors swirl, the Duggar family's internal cracks are becoming more and more visible. What once seemed like a united front of religious devotion and strict family loyalty is now revealing itself as a deeply divided household, especially over the shocking lengths Bob Duggar may be going to in order to control Anna and protect Josh. Several siblings have either subtly distanced themselves or outright vanished from Duggar-centered gatherings, and fans are noticing. Jinger, Jill, and even Joanna have made decisions in recent years that suggest a growing discomfort with the way Jim Bob operates. Jill, for instance, was one of the first to publicly cut ties, exposing the manipulation, lack of autonomy, and financial control Jim Bob exercised over all of his adult children. Her silence on the mansion issue might seem like restraint, but those who know the history see it as a refusal to play into her father's PR game. Meanwhile, some Duggar siblings continue to maintain a public front, staying close to the family for financial security or fear of being cast out. It's hard not to notice that those still under Jim Bob's roof, or benefiting from his resources, rarely speak out. But fans are asking, is that silence complicity or survival? Michelle Duggar, once the nurturing mother of the household, remains eerily silent on the matter. Her lack of public commentary is striking, especially considering the chaos surrounding Josh and Anna. Is she quietly supporting her husband's schemes, or is she emotionally exhausted and powerless behind the scenes? Either way, her absence in this storm has fans questioning where she really stands and whether she's chosen loyalty to Jim Bob over empathy for her daughter-in-law and grandchildren. The contrast between Jim Bob's polished, patriarchal persona and his alleged real behavior is now at the heart of the growing Duggar divide. His manipulation tactics are nothing new to insiders, whether it's controlling the family finances, deciding who can talk to the media, or now allegedly using a mansion to keep Anna in line. He presents himself as a godly leader, a family protector, and a loving father. But behind closed doors, his actions paint a darker picture of power, secrecy, and image control at any cost. And with each passing day, more family members are choosing to quietly step back or boldly speak out. Either way, the illusion of a Duggar family united is rapidly fading. The pressure on the Duggar family has reached a boiling point, and it's not just internal. The public has made their stance crystal clear. Social media platforms are flooded with scathing criticism aimed not just at Josh, but at Jim Bob and Michelle for enabling him, and at Anna for staying by his side. Reddit threads, YouTube comment sections and Instagram posts are bursting with fans and former supporters demanding accountability. People are calling out the Duggar brand as a toxic relic of a failed belief system, wrapped in hypocrisy and masked by false modesty. The question on everyone's mind remains, will Anna ever leave Josh Duggar? At this point, it feels like a tragic waiting game. Many believe she's too deeply embedded in the IBLP mindset and too dependent on the Duggar family financially, emotionally, and spiritually. Others think she might be holding out until his release, clinging to the illusion that the Josh she married still exists underneath all the scandal. But the longer she waits, the more public sympathy erodes. The loyalty that once earned her admiration now paints her as complicit in the eyes of many. Meanwhile, Bob Duggar may be quietly plotting a comeback. He's weathered storms before, scandals, show cancellations, and lawsuits, but this time feels different. Rumors are circulating that he's exploring ways to rebrand the family. Some say he's approached TLC or other streaming platforms about a spin-off featuring the obedient kids or even a redemption-style special. Others suspect he's lobbying conservative Christian media outlets to help rebuild his image and push back against what he sees as an unfair media takedown. But the damage might already be done. Talk of a second Duggar tell-all, possibly from someone still close to the family, or even Anna herself, is gaining traction online. There's also speculation about a new docuseries, this time with more former insiders willing to speak out now that shiny, happy people blew the doors open. Legal experts have even chimed in with discussions about potential lawsuits, whether civil suits from victims or internal family litigation over property, assets, or control of the family name. All of this points to one unavoidable truth: the Duggar legacy is collapsing. What once stood as a pristine, ultra-conservative, God-fearing dynasty has become a symbol of control, silence, and scandal. The family brand, once carefully curated and marketed through TLC, now feels like a cautionary tale. The cracks that started with Josh's first scandal have split wide open, and no amount of praying, rebranding, or mansion deals can patch them back together. TLC may never go near the Duggars again, but if they do, it will likely be to document the final implosion, not a redemption arc. It's shocking to look back at how far the Duggar family has fallen. Once a symbol of wholesome, Christian family values, they dominated reality TV and were idolized by millions. But beneath the carefully curated image was a storm of secrets, scandals, and manipulation. Now, that perfect facade has completely shattered, and the fallout is still unfolding. At the center of this collapse is Anna Duggar. She stood by Josh through every disgrace, every legal blow, and every betrayal. But now, she finds herself more isolated than ever. Her visits to Josh in prison, her silence online, her growing separation from the rest of the Duggar women, it all paints a picture of someone trapped, emotionally and spiritually. And then there's the mansion bribe. Bob's alleged offer of a luxurious home to Anna feels less like generosity and more like damage control. Is it truly a gift for her loyalty? Or is it hush money to keep her compliant, silent, and close? For fans, it's just another example of the disturbing power dynamics within this family. If true, this could be the final nail in the coffin for whatever credibility Bob and the Duggar name had left. As more pieces of the puzzle come to light, one thing becomes painfully clear: the empire they built on faith, rules, and image is crumbling. And the ones left behind, like Anna, are paying the highest price. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.